Hello, I'm Lucas Horrocks and welcome to episode 3 of my Gaul campaign on Rome Total War. We're actually in a very good position at the moment. We've taken 2 Julii settlements last episode, so that's what we're focusing on again today, is finishing off the Julii in the north of Italy. So, we have these guys over here in the fort, just to keep them safe. A large army made up mostly of warband, a few bits of cavalry and 2 generals, and then sort of reinforcements, if you like, are these guys, even more warband, and 1 unit of skirmishers as well. And then up here we have, yes, another load of reinforcements, 1 unit of warband as well. So this should be enough to take on the Julii, I would predict. Having a look at Captain Spurius, he has 4 units of Hastati and some Town Watch. The Town Watch are obviously the weakness of this army. The Hastati are better than the warband but less numerous, so hopefully that should counteract any problems we have. As for Arretium, there is a large army here, so something we'll need to be aware of. It's the 2 armies combined of the Julii are probably as big as the force we've got, but they've probably got better troops, so we're going to need to be careful. And there isn't any obvious weakness in this force. I do generally find Equites quite weak. They do tend to break very quickly, but still they're very fast and they probably will still be a threat to us, so we need to be careful. And 3 lots of heavy cavalry are very, very dangerous indeed. So yeah, we have a lot of troops, but it's probably still going to be a very, very tough fight. So I think this is all we can do for this turn, because these guys have run out of movement points. So I think we're going to have to move on. Let's just have a look up here. I think this is all we can do. We have Mediolanum. There's a diplomat looking over at Germania. We just found a little bit out about their settlements, so this guy's sort of acting as a spy at the moment, really, because we can't see a lot. But at least we know if a German force comes over, we know in advance, hopefully. So, okay, I think that's okay. The only thing is, this diplomat actually really should be moving up here to talk to the British. So that was maybe a little bit stupid of me. I want him actually moving up to the British. I want to ceasefire with them. I don't have any desire to take Britain on at the moment. There's no need to. We've taken the 1 British settlement I really wanted. We did that in the first episode. So now we've kicked them off the mainland. I think there's no need to be at war with them anymore. So if they want a ceasefire, I'm more than happy to give that to them. We still have 1,300 denarii, so I'm just wondering if we are recruiting in Numantia or not. We're not. Okay, so this should be a little bit of a priority. 1 unit of warband. And we did have a ship. Here we go. Yes, so this ship needs to be moving up to Britain. If we are going to have a ceasefire, there's no need to blockade their ports, but still, if there's any ships carrying troops and it looks threatening, then I certainly want to take care of it. So the more navy we have up there, the better. So yeah, that's going to go on up there. We can probably afford to construct something in one of these settlements. Has anyone got access to Swordsmen yet? Possibly Batavium. Yes, okay, let's have a look at Swordsmen. So 10 attack, 12 defense, and good morale. So I would say they're significantly better than the warband. Yes, they're less numerous. There's 81 of them. There's 121 in the warband. But look at the cost. They cost pretty much the same amount. Swordsmen are 40 denarii more. And for that 40 denarii, you get a much better troop with better morale. So, really, we do want to be recruiting one of these very, very quickly. But in terms of troops at the moment, I feel like we're okay. We don't need to recruit a huge amount more over here. I want to take Arretium first. We have a lot of force here. It's just about winning this big fight next, which is going to be the issue. So we'll end the turn and see what happens. Okay, let's have a look at what happens. The Julii seem to be moving into the settlement. Okay, that's what I sort of predicted. Excellent. Britannia want a ceasefire. Oh, okay. So they want a ceasefire, but they want their settlement back, which could completely defeat the point of me taking it in the first place, obviously. So I'm all up for a ceasefire, but I'm not giving away that settlement. So I'll offer them a ceasefire, I'll offer them map information, and I'll even offer them trade rights, but not anything more. So ceasefire, trade rights, and map information. I'm guessing they're going to decline this. We shall see. Oh no, they've reluctantly agreed to it, so that's good. So we're not at war with Britain anymore. and we didn't give away the settlement, which would have completely defeated the point. But it does seem to be a British army up there, so this ceasefire may not last very long. Let's have a look at the army. It's a big army. Okay, this is why we needed a naval force up there, because this navy brought these guys down. If we destroyed this navy, that wouldn't have happened. So, slightly annoying. Hopefully these guys just go east and deal with the Germanians. That's fine by me. But still, the less British on the mainland, the better. So, slightly concerning. So, end of turn report, that's fine. Repairs, recruitment, and diplomatic information. We have now at a ceasefire, and Parthia and the Seleucid Empire are at war, which is no surprise because the Seleucids are at war with everyone in this game, so that's fine. Okay, let's have a look at the army up here, because I don't think there's that many people. 3 warband. It's okay, but I would like to reinforce it a lot. Brennus, you're going to go back up here. So Brennus is moving, unless you're slightly unhappy because of that. But they're going to have to deal with it. And I would like to move cavalry. 2 units of cavalry can join Brennus. So unless you aren't particularly happy, let's have a look at the mercenaries quickly. Barbarian mercenaries, of course. Unless you aren't particularly happy, but we can lower the tax rate because they're on a very high tax rate, and they should be a little bit happier now. They are, which is good. Okay. Okay, so that seems to be that dealt with, or partially dealt with anyway for the moment. What troops are up here in Rennes? 2 warbands, there's no point moving them over. Okay, so the main point of this episode is to take on the Julii. They have all gone into Arretium to form a large army. They now have wooden walls, which is slightly annoying, but okay, we can deal with it. That was always going to happen. There are no obvious weaknesses apart from this town watch, but 1 unit isn't going to cause a mass rout. I wouldn't imagine anyway. Weletes are rather weak. They're sort of similar to our skirmishers, but a bit better. But yeah, as I say, the Hastati and the Triarii are better than us, and they have more missile people than us as well. So slightly concerning, but we need to move down south either way. We haven't got much of a choice. This Senate army is still lingering, slightly worrying, but I can deal with it. So Ariminum, that's fine. Let's amalgamate these 2 armies, get these guys out of a fort. It's actually going to be too many troops to have 1 army, isn't there? Yeah, okay, that's interesting. Okay, that's fine. So let's move all these guys. Now we don't need... This is the thing, if we're going to have 2 armies, the AI has to control one of them because there's too many troops for me to control at one time. I could split the generals up so each army has a general. The problem is the AI isn't always the best, and it could throw one of my generals away. So Vindex is still relatively young. I definitely wouldn't want to lose Lugatorix for obvious reasons. He's still young, and he's got good morale and all that. So if we're going to control an army, I want to control Lugatorix, of course. So let's have Lugatorix and this force move over to Arretium. We'll just move out slightly. We won't move into their zone of control, the red region, quite yet, because we can still add a few more troops. I'm not bothered about the skirmishers. The AI can control them. That's fine. So how many spaces have we got left? 1, 2, 3, 5. Okay. 5 more spaces for various warbands. So let's bring 5 warband over to Lugatorix. And this is the strongest army we've ever assembled. It's not particularly versatile. It's just loads of warband and just 4 cavalry, and then of course Lugatorix himself. It's going to have to do. So he's going to move into Arretium. Now I don't know if this force alone would be enough, but we have got this second force here of Vindex. Vindex can step out of this fort now. He's not needed.
Prepare to ambush.
And Vindex, these guys can all join Vindex. Can this guy make it as well? Yeah, just about. Okay, and then Vindex has this sort of secondary, very small force. I'm questioning whether it's even worth bringing him into the fight. I don't know if that actually be beneficial to us. This is a question. Do we step him into the zone of control or do we not? I do feel like the more troops the better, but the AI might not do these troops justice. And might just throw them away, so I'm actually not going to. They can just chill around here. Lugatorix can put Arretium under siege, however. Now, there is a spy in Arretium, so if we're lucky, there is a chance, a 32% chance, that they will open the gates if we attack. Let's hope they do. The gates opened last time, so balance of probability suggests we won't have the gates opened, but we shall see. Lugatorix puts Arretium under siege, and the gates have not been opened. So, all we need are rams, apparently. So we can build a lot of rams, because there are a lot of troops, we can build a lot of rams, and it only takes one turn. So next turn, we shall put Arretium to the sword. Okay, so Vindex can just chill around here. There's nothing he can do, he's got no more movement points. There's no mercenaries or anything available. If there were good mercenaries around here, I would take them, because we need as many good troops as possible, but there's just none. So this guy is still moving across. It's taken him a long time. I am starting to wonder if he's needed anymore, but he'll be needed later if we take on the Scipii and Brutii down here, which we brought at some point. He'll be needed. The more troops, the better. So he can continue moving. Let's have a look at the mercenaries. Same as usual. Okay. I do wonder if there's any other mercenaries available in the south of France. I think there are, but it seems like very rare. It always seems to be barbarian mercenaries only, which is, yeah, annoying, but okay, because they're completely useless in my opinion. So this guy can continue moving towards the north of Italy. That's fine, okay. As for Numantia, they should be building up even more troops to take on Spain eventually. We shall recruit another warband. The ship, the naval force, should be moving up. It should be doing that automatically. Yeah, it's going to be doing it automatically. So that's fine. And it can join up with that weakened naval force. As for Lebanon, it's very weak at the moment. It's only got one unit inside of it. And there is this rebel force of Captain Conan, 2 units, I would guess, peasants and maybe militia hoplites or something similar to that. I wouldn't even think there'd be hoplites, to be honest. It shouldn't be too much to deal with. I think we should start constructing a little bit more, though. That would be good, but also I would like some chosen swordsmen around. So it's a slight dilemma. These guys can't have swordsmen, it's the Batavian that can. So let's recruit our first unit of swordsmen, because they're good, and then we can construct some stuff. So trading would be nice. Let's see how much a market would bring for us. Market would bring, so at 72 trade it'd bring 6 more denarii through trade, and a market costs 1,200 denarii. So it's going to take a long time for that investment to make a profit, so I don't think so. Blacksmith's not too important. Land clearance would be nice, and increasing the production of Batavian would make the population growth even more mad, so yeah, why not? So yeah, I'm happy with that. We still have 1,355 denarii. If we're going to construct, we might as well construct in this area. These are our main settlements. This is where we're going to be expanding, so it seems logical for us to be building in these areas. I don't want to waste too much money, but this is all an investment, so that's fine. We don't have a lot of money left, but hopefully we seem to be making money every turn, which is good. So I shall take that, and we're going to move forward to next turn, where hopefully Arretium will fall to us. Okay, let's have a look. So this diplomat is moving over, that's fine. Nobody seems to be doing much. Let's have a look and see what the Julii do. I doubt they'll sally forth. No, they didn't. Okay. And, oh dear. Okay. Not good. Not good. All that hard work to push Britain out of Gaul, and they've just attacked anyway as soon as we declared a ceasefire. So, let's see what's attacked. Captain Motius, British light chariots, and a unit, I don't know, probably warband or something like that. The problem is, these troops couldn't get over in time. Brennus couldn't get over in time. So that means that there's only 3 units of warband in there. But Brennus has not really that strong of an army. For once we might actually need mercenaries. I'll take these cavalry. Definitely. That's a good timing for cavalry. Thing is, these guys, it's just cavalry we've got. Against light archers and something. I think possibly if we attack these guys, they might just lift the siege because there's too many troops and they'll be afraid. So that's what I'm going to bank on. And that's exactly what happened. And I'm now going to move these guys into the settlement. These guys aren't too much of a threat on their own. Let's see what it was. It was a warband. But these guys coupled with this army is a problem for the settlement. So let's move them all inside. Possibly should have chased that army down. Thinking about it, it's too late now. It's not too much of a big deal, I would hope. Yeah, okay, you know what, that's going to be fine. What this does mean is we need to recruit more in this town because it is vulnerable. Okay, let's have a look at the report. Settlement besieged, not anymore. End of term report is fine. Recruitment, and it's war between Britain and Gaul. I don't want war, but I'm guessing that they do. The British do. I'll talk to them again. Ceasefire. I mean, it obviously doesn't mean a lot to them. A ceasefire. Yeah, they don't want to end the fighting. The reason they don't want to end the fighting is we're one of their only targets. So they're going to expand. They're either going to expand into our territory or Germanian territory. So, you know, we're one of the few real potential enemies to attack. So they've really got to go for us. Otherwise, they'll just stick on Ciala Britain for forever, which isn't good. So, okay, we've only got 428 denarii now after I bought those mercenaries, but it's going to have to do. So, Lugatorix is at the walls of Arretium. Have they recruited? They may have recruited a bit more. I don't know. Okay. I'll be honest, I am slightly concerned about this. It's a massive, massive army they've got. I do feel like I'd rather them sally forth. I know it's possibly a waste of time, but if you look at our troops in comparison, these are war bands. They're nothing. 7 and 10 attack and defense rating. Let's have a look at Stati. 7 and 14. So, not too much difference. I would imagine Hastati have better morale, but they have a better defense. Triarii, 18 defense, and they're spearmen with good morale. These heavy cavalry, which are a big concern, they're going to be better than our noble light cavalry. So, I know I said I was going to take Arretium this turn, but what I'm going to do is actually bring Vindex over here. He can move into the zone of control, and then wait for the Julii to sally forth. I think that's got to be our option. I mean, let's just check and see if the spies have infiltrated the settlement. They have. So if we're going to do it, now would be a good time. But I feel like in the tight city walls, all this warband, it isn't going to do us any favours. So I'm going to wait for them to sally forth. Hopefully they'll do it next turn. That's what I'm going to bank on. There's no huge rush to take the settlement. There's not a lot more the Julii can do. I suppose that they could improve the walls, but that wouldn't make too much of a difference. So I'm actually going to leave this. I'm going to keep this general coming this way.
Impossible. No.
If you can. And then by the time he gets here, hopefully we'll have Arretium, and then we can sweep down towards the Brutii and Scipii territory in the south of Italy, so that'd be good. I want to avoid the Senate for a while, for sure. Okay, so that's them. It's probably going to be near the end of this turn. I could go for Arretium. I'm going to hope the Julii sally forth next turn. If they don't, then it's likely we will go for it. But I want them to sally forth. So Numantia can recruit even more. This time they can recruit some cavalry. And we have no money, which is okay, I suppose. So, yep, let's end the turn. This ship's moved over. Batavium isn't happy. I need to sort that out very quickly. It's because it's growing so fast. Okay, so the Julii didn't seem to do anything. End of turn report, construction, recruitment, and war declared between Pontus and the Seleucid Empire. No surprise. As I said, the Seleucids are constantly under attack. So, the Julii did not sally forth. The good thing about leaving a siege for a long time is that the troops will, some of them will just die, because, you know, if you're besieging somewhere, some troops are going to starve and so on. So, for example, this unit's been has gone down to 59 troops, I think it was in like 65. It's not a lot, but it is just chipping away at them. There is still 5 turns they can hold out for though. So I will leave it one more turn. That is for sure. One more turn. My spy's infiltrated. I'll leave it one more turn. If they don't sally forth, I'd rather them sally forth, but I don't want to waste time either. So this guy needs to continue moving down. And we need to sort out the issue with Batavium. I think it's time they get a shrine, to be honest. So we have this one, the experience. We have more experience to troops, missile weapons. I'm not bothered about that, and just happiness. As this place is so fast growing, I want happiness in the settlement, and we'll move the tax rate down slightly just for this turn. They'll probably be like the sort of blue level of... No, they're relatively happy, so that's fine. I'm not going to recruit any more new humanity for the moment, just because it is really depleting our resources. It's ridiculous, really. What I should really do, if anything, is recruit up here. Although it's a decent-sized army, it doesn't hurt recruiting. Doesn't hurt recruiting at all. So we'll do that. Now, if we're at war with Britain, I want to find that ship and I want to take it down. So, because they only have one naval force. So let's try and find it. Okay, so this is the naval force, Captain Sagavax, with 3 units on. So, yeah, they're definitely transporting troops over. Let's have a look at what units there are actually. Swordsmen. So they've got access to swordsmen before ours, I think, and in warbands. So yeah, they're starting to technologically advance, whereas we haven't as much. So can this ship make it? This ship can't make it. I'm gonna hope that this ship was depleted after the first attack and should be more vulnerable. It still says 1-to-1 strength ratio. We have 5 more men. I'm gonna go for it. Crushing defeat. The navy, the Gaelic navy, is very, very poor. I don't know what this is. We should have at least it should have been a close defeat, if anything. But well, at least we have view of Aburacum, which I believe is that York nowadays? I don't know. Anyway, yeah, okay, it doesn't really matter. I think. Oh no, that might be Chester. Okay, it doesn't really matter. Okay, so yeah, that is a shame, because we now need to recruit even more of a navy. This settlement still can't recruit a navy. Very disappointed. Okay, and it just means more and more troops are going to come over from this damn naval force, which refuses to die. Only lost, I think it lost 1 ship. And how many did we lose? We lost... Oh, it's not telling me, but we must have lost quite a few. Yeah, we lost pretty much 16 or 17 of our ships, and they lost 1. I don't know how that happens. It seems very odd. Okay, we'll just leave it for now. As for this is the big sort of deliberation. Do I go for Arretium now, or do I wait for both forces to defend themselves against Julii? One more turn, and I'll go for it. If not, if they don't sally out. Okay, let's have a look what happened. I hope the Julii sally out. This is what I want. Carthage, diplomats, fine. The Julii do not sally out. Okay. Frustrating. Very frustrating. Alessia doesn't seem to be particularly happy. There is a new general available. I'm not even going to try and say that name. I'm going to. Praesutaugus of Garumna. He looks decent. He's 25 years old. Superior commander. Yep, seems alright. Let's take him. We need generals. Where has he gone to? Where is he? Is he in Araminum? No, he's in Alessia. Oh, okay, he's in Alessia. Fine. Okay. We might need him to move down, but if Brennus dies, he might have already died. No, he hasn't. Then maybe he could replace Brennus up here. So I'm not really sure. End of turn report. All of this. Diplomatic information, and another faction is at war with the Seleucids, the Egyptians this time, and Parthia and Pontus have formed an alliance, most probably against the Seleucids. So yeah, the Seleucids are screwed, especially now that the Egyptians are at war with them, but that doesn't really concern us too much. That's over here in the Middle East. or in Turkish area, sorry. Okay, and then marriage celebrations. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. The Julii refused to sally out. Have they lost any more troops since last time? A few. It is working. They are losing about 5 or 6 troops per turn. And it might not sound... sorry, 5 or 6 troops per unit per turn. So, you know, these guys were at 76 when we first besieged the settlement. They're now at 70. They're now at 70. So let's say, you know, 15 units are losing 5 troops per turn. That's quite a few troops that are not going to be there on the battlefield, which would have been there if we had besieged earlier. And as I said, we're not in a rush hugely now against the Julii. Although saying that, I do want to take Italy before the Marian reforms take place. So actually, we are in a bit of a rush. So it says turns into surrender 4. So I am wondering whether we should attack. Okay, so here's my predicament. We could attack now, but the problem is that we have an advantage in terms of numbers, yeah? So we have more than double the amount of troops they have. But the great thing about having numbers is you can surround the enemy. The problem is, in Arretium, there are very, very narrow streets, and we're not going to be able to surround the Romans as much as I'd like to. And they're going to have very strong troops like the Triarii who are going to be able to hold the line. They have much better morale, and our warband, I believe, is just going to collapse. So, despite there still being 4 more turns to take Arretium, I'm going to leave it. I feel like that's the better decision. I'm going to leave Vindex and Lucatorix outside of Arretium. And I really hope they sally forth soon. That's what I hope. I could even bring this guy over as well. Bring even more troops to the fight. You know what, I might as well. So yeah, bring him over. And he can come over as well. So we're going to leave that just again. I might just move forward one more turn very, very quickly. Alessia aren't particularly happy. We'll lower the tax rate. They're not happy because we moved troops over to this town up here to defend the British, defend off the British. So, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to move it forward one more turn. Pray the Julii sally forth. So let's have a look. At this point, they haven't got a huge amount of options. They still don't. They still refuse to sally out, which is very, very interesting. This is for their survival. The faction will die if it's not for this. Praestalgus of Aururius is a betrothed husband, 31 years old, good defender. I feel like we could get someone a little bit younger. I'm going to decline that one for the moment. Okay, agent found in Batavium, House of Julii. That's fine. They're not going to be attacking Batavium anytime soon. Faction announcements. Coming of age. Luco. Let's have a look at him. Lucio. Calm, social drinker. Handsome, publicly loyal. Okay, so that's good. And restrained. So restrained isn't great, but there is a increased cost of bribe. So actually, this guy isn't going to be bribed off. Basically, he's 16 years old. Okay, that is quite good. I like that. So he can stay here. Brennus is getting pretty old now, so he can kind of replace Brennus as the big general up here in time. Diplomatic information. Egypt and the Seleucids are at war with each other. That's not a huge surprise. And in Macedon and Thrace are allies. Interesting. They're probably going to ally against the Greeks or the Dacians or someone like that. Another enemy of theirs. That's fine. Doesn't particularly concern me. 3 more turns until the Julii have to attack. They are losing troops, which is good. So they are getting weaker. This guy can join Vindex. You know what, I don't want to risk... Oh, he's 41 years old. Okay, I can risk him a little bit. He can join Vindex. When they sally forth, we're going to have such a strong army. So many numbers. We're going to have like nearly 3 times the amount of troops they have. Surely we can beat back the Julii. That's what I would pray for. We do have swordsmen, but they're not going to get over in time. They can just go to Ariminum and chill there for a little bit. Okay, so there's still stuff we can be doing. For example, constructing. There is this strong British army here. Druids, peasants are nothing, slingers, swordsmen, warband. So we really need peace with the British, but they are really refusing to have such peace. I'll offer them a ceasefire again, see if they've changed their mind, and they have reluctantly agreed to it. How long that will last? Not very long, in my opinion, but we shall see. Humanity I'm not too bothered about at the moment. We'll deal with Spain later. They are still our allies, so that's good. I think there must be something we can build in Ariminum. Communal farming could be good. Batavium also has communal farming that could be available. Mediolanum can have land clearance. Land clearance is always nice to have. Segesta can't even train warband, which is odd. Okay. Let's see what troops we can build. Swordsmen we can have in Batavium. Skirmisher warband I'm not too bothered about. I want to increase population, build this town up so we can start getting better troops. So that's what I'm going to be doing by putting in some more communal farming. That shall increase the population growth. As for up here, let's see what kind of army we have up here. I'd like a little bit more here, just to make sure the British don't attack. So that's going to be all for this turn. I know we're going through the turns very, very quickly, but I feel like the Julii need to sally forth against us, so I'm praying they're going to do so very, very soon. Macedon, Germania. The British attack again. Okay, good job we recruited. Dacia have come to our door. They want trade rights. I want trade rights as well, but I can also do some other stuff as well. So I'll offer map information. For map information, that's basically all I want. I don't want denarii. I want map information. Okay, so they should accept that if they're reasonable people, which they are. And Dacia seems to be doing pretty well. Let's have a look at Dacia. Oh, we can't. Okay, we'll look at them in a second. Spain are possibly trying to bribe someone. I'm not sure what they're doing over there. So let's have a look. And we have a little bit of information on Thrace, the light blue faction, and Scythia up here as well. So Dacia own 4 territories. They seem to be doing rather well. Dacia are another difficult faction to play as because they have a lot of potential enemies around them. Thrace, Scythia, Germania, us, Macedon, Greece, all sorts. It's mad. Okay, so let's look at us though. Let's not worry about Dacia. End of turn report. An agent found. Germania are knocking at the door again. Diplomatic information. Armenia are at war with the Seleucids. They're just joining the hate party against the Seleucid Empire. And Britannia and Gaul are at war with each other. Yeah, that ceasefire didn't last very long. Germania and Spain are allies. This is good. This is very, very good because we're also allied with the Spanish. So if the Germanians want to keep up their alliance with Spain, they're going to have to try and not attack us. That's basically it. If they attack us, they're possibly jeopardising their alliance with Spain. So that's actually very, very good for us. And then Scythia and Thrace are allies as well. So I worry for Dacia because Thrace have allied with Macedon and Scythia, 2 factions right next to them. So Dacia's days actually may be numbered despite me saying they're quite strong. Only 2 turns left until the Julii have to surrender. They won't surrender. They'll sally forth at the end of next turn, I would imagine. So what's this force doing?
General.
Oh yeah, the swordsmen. They can move down to Ariminum. We don't have a lot of money. That is something I will admit. Let's move the tax rate up in Segesta to very, very high. The same for Ariminum. Yep, let's move that up. Okay. We are very, very close to destroying the Julii. I did promise we were going to do it this episode, so I am going to do so. What diplomats are up here? Greek diplomat. That's quite good. Okay, let's have a look at and talk to the Greeks. Can't quite meet them this turn. If you don't know where to put your diplomats, a great place, by the way, is up here in Scythia. You can't see it because of the fog of war, but always around this sort of area. I think it's called Campus Sarmatii or something like that. Sarmatii. Around and the Campus Scythii and all that. This area has loads of diplomats, loads and loads of diplomats. They all congregate up here. So at some point I'll be sending a diplomat up here. Because let's say for example, if you're Gaul and you want to talk to Parthia, you don't have to travel all the way down here to where Parthia are, where like Babylonia, all that. You want to see if there's a Parthian diplomat over here, for example. So I don't see why Gaul would want to talk to Parthian in particular, but it's an example I was giving. So this is nearly the end of this turn. I'm determined to destroy Arretium this turn, or the end of this turn. Hopefully, they finally sally out. Let's see how many units they have. This is the advantage of waiting it out, playing a long game. I know a lot of people like to blitz. We've blitzed so far, the Julii, but this battle is going to be so difficult. I thought it was better just to wait it out. And look at this unit, 50 soldiers in this unit. They started off with 74 soldiers in the unit or something like that, and then now down to 50 this one. And as I said, this is because if you besiege a settlement, you're basically starving them out. So obviously a few people are going to die. All these units were up to like 74, the units of Astarte. So we've definitely weakened them sufficiently. So this is very good. Okay, we'll move it forward one more time. I have just remembered we are under siege from the British. So yeah, we just need to recruit warband. We have quite a strong force. They also have a strong force, stronger than ours most probably. So slightly concerning. I want to. It's this navy. It's this navy of Admiral Sagavax, which has screwed us over so far. This ship I completely forgot about. Needs to move down south. 14 men and 13. It's 27 men. Do we attack this for the third time? You know what? We might as well. I know we're going to lose it for a third time. This navy is legendary, and we can't even attack them this turn. Great. Okay. Okay. So we're here. They've got 2 more turns to surrender. And do you know what? I feel like at this point, the Julii have been weakened enough. So do you know what? I'm going to go for it. Look at this. You know what? We are the stronger army. 2,868 men. We can't control them because I believe anyway you can only control 20 units, and the Lugatorix's army has 20 units in it already. So Vindex, even if I untick this button, controlled by the AI, it would have to be controlled by the AI because I can't control more than 20 units. So the game doesn't allow me to. We've got this. I believe we've got this. We can finally finish off the Julii this turn. We've weakened them enough. There's about 50 men per unit in the Astarte, for example, where I mentioned that they were up to like 74 by the time we first besieged them. So we've played a long game, we've waited it out, they haven't sallied forth, now is the time to strike. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. We have 5 rams, so we can approach them from many different angles. I hope that the AI doesn't screw us up too much, because the AI are controlling Vindex's army, which you can see on the right hand side of Arretium. So here we are. The good thing about having an AI army is that I'm going to try and use them as a sort of a distraction, a second front if you like. So we're going to be assaulting Arretium right here. The walls are down, I think because the spies infiltrated the settlement quite possibly. I don't know if that gate's going to stay open or what. That's odd. I think it's because the spy infiltrated the settlement. I'm not sure. Yeah, so there's going to be less troops over this side, meaning we should take this side of the settlement more, and then hopefully both armies can sort of amalgamate in the centre of the plaza and surround them. That's going to be the big plan. So we can't see what the Romans are doing until we start the battle, so we're going to have to assume that they're going to be guarding each set of walls. Looking at the guard towers, there seems to be a guard tower here and a guard tower in the corner, but only one guard tower on this side, so the left hand side is definitely weaker in my opinion. So let's get 2 rams over this side and a lot of warband, this amount of warband. Gonna chill along here, backed up by 2 noble barbarian cavalry. And then along this side, there's already 2 units of warband. We need this ram. Okay, so we have 2 rams over here. 2 rams can chill along here. We have 2 more warband. What else do we have? We have more barbarian cavalry. Here is Lugatorix. He can stay completely out of the fight. I don't want Lugatorix anywhere near this. He only has 27 soldiers in his unit, which is actually half the amount the barbarian cavalry have. I know the heavy cavalry, but there's no point risking him. We don't need him in this battle. This isn't about the cavalry. This is about using the infantry correctly. Let's start the battle, and you can see that the Romans are split between us and Vindex. Does Vindex have any rams? Like, how's he even going to get through? Possibly he can only get through because of spy infiltrate assessment, which is very helpful. It's why you always use spies. Also, very odd, we have a lot of troops over here on the right hand side and absolutely none over here. So we can take this side of the wall extremely easily unless they move over, which I suspect they will. So very quickly, let's move this ram over to the gate, this ram, oh sorry, over to the wall, and then move all these troops forward in formation without clicking the withdraw button, and we'll move over here. Excellent. Okay, and then these two rams can move over to their respective positions as well. These guys can be put into a formation and moved over here, and then this soul ram actually serves no purpose at all, so you can drop the ram, and I just want you hanging around there just in case. Okay, let's go. There are a lot of troops in the battlefield, so I won't click the the speed up button because the game won't be able to cope. It can cope on a normal speed, but it can't cope on such a really high speed. I'll move it very slightly, doubled game speed. That shouldn't affect the gameplay too much. This ram doesn't seem to be moving forward when I asked it to, so let's do that again. And this time it moves forward. We are at the gates. Okay, so it seems like a lot of the Roman units are retreating towards the plaza. Looking over in the distance, one of the AI units have already routed, which is bad news. The AI Vindex may be a bit more of a liability than anything. I think what they're all trying to do is, because they have no rams, they're trying to squeeze through this front gate, all of them, and they probably have like Triarii or something like that right up there, and they're just getting slaughtered. So very disappointed in that. So these rams are at the gates. They need to be as quick as possible. I'm going to speed it up massively. It's going to lag. I'm sorry about this. Oh, okay. Let's stop this for a second. The AI has managed to get one unit of Equites, which they do have relatively low morale for cavalry, to rout. There's only 9 of them left anyway, so that's good. That's a good start. And look how little troops along here, because they're so preoccupied with the reinforcements of Vindex. We're going to take the side easily, and we can just sandwich these troops in the centre by attacking from either side of them. So that's excellent, and a good way to get them to rout is by attacking either side of them. Another Julii unit has routed. I can't see what it is from here. Possibly another unit of Equites, I'm not sure. So these rams need to get to the gate and knock them down. 52% damage on this wall. So it's going to be a little while longer until we can take these walls here. I'm going to speed it up again a little bit. It's going to lag, but it's because there's nearly 3,000 troops in the battlefield. So, and we'll put it at normal speed now. Okay, so 64% damage, 92% damage. Yeah, this was the ram that took a while to get to the wall, and this ram just stopped altogether. Okay, whatever. You know what? We don't need that ram. Drop that ram. What's here? Oh, okay. We've taken even more walls. Excellent. Hastati. Okay. You see, this is why I wanted 2 rams, because then they could have sandwiched this unit of Hastati. Instead, we're going to have to get all 4 units of warband to charge in. Just charge in there, lads. Okay. This is the more important bit. What have they got guarding here? Wenites? Archers. Right, charging very quickly. These archers are nothing. We shall take them down easily. These guys are town watch as well. Very weak. Questionable defensive tactics from the Julii AI. This is possibly why they're about to collapse very quickly. All of them on the town watch. Incredibly weak. These guys just need to get in and honestly reinforce these guys that are going through the front gate instead of this way. No. Stop that order. Stop that order. Okay, what's here? Equites. Oh, okay, they're Equites. Let's go for them. You know what? Why not? Everyone on the equites. Not the cavalry though. That's my bad. Not the cavalry. Cavalry goes back here. Let's just pause it. Things are getting a little bit out of hand while I'm trying to work out what's going on. So, these warband. There are more troops coming over here. Right, we need to take this gate very, very quickly and then sweep left to deal with these guys. Somewhere there'll be the generals. The generals will not go down easily. The generals will take a long time to go down and will make our troops rout a lot in the process. These guys, don't worry about the archers anymore. I want to get these cavalry down very, very quickly. All on the cavalry. Already one of our units is routed. That's because cavalry are ridiculously strong. Look how many warband we're through, and we just need to get these equites out of the way. These guys routed from what seems to be archers. Okay, these guys need to get out because they're going to rout. There are cavalry generals right there. And two units have indeed routed. The general's coming out to play, which is not good. These cavalry need to come in, possibly. If we're going to do this, all on the cavalry. These guys, all through the gate. They take a while to get through the gate sometimes. The cavalry needs to charge. They're light cavalry, they need to get through here. Right, get around the side of them. Get around the side of the general. Get around the side. There's a ram in the way, which I don't know if it's working to our advantage or not. I don't think it is. All along here. These guys need to get on the general. I don't care if you're cavalry. So, we do have the advantage here, which is good. I don't know how Windex is doing. I haven't seen him in a while. Hopefully he's doing good. All along here. I'm tempted to get Lugatorix involved. If these guys just run round here, sprint, we are losing a lot of troops quickly, but we are surrounding the general, which is good. A unit's routed there, a unit's routed there. This is a problem. We can't seem to get everyone through the front gate because there's so many warband. It's caused a mass rout. That's very, very annoying. There were so many troops they couldn't get through the front gate, and they just all died instead of actually running and doing what they should have done. A general is down, which is excellent news. Get around here. These cavalry need to get around here. One of the generals has fallen. This is good. I don't know why they're not running. They're not doing as they're told. Maybe this is an aspect of warband. One of our generals is down. That's probably Vindex. I don't know. Maybe it's just an enemy general. And the warband, they don't seem to be particularly responsive to what I'm telling them to do. How many of our people have died? 44%, 45% of them have died, so we've taken a lot of casualties here. My goodness, finally these generals have fallen. Ridiculous how long it's taken them. Let's get these town watch, lads, come on. Right, all these guys are going to die. They're all useless, and to be honest, I don't particularly feel sorry for them. What I do feel sorry is Lugatorix if he gets involved. Right, this general's coming over. Get these guys quickly. This warband needs to come over. I don't know why it's been standing there the whole time. It's completely useless. Lugatorix, get in there, mate. Okay. Warband, run along here. Don't worry about the town. I'm sorry, these cavalry lost to town watch. Town watch, my goodness. These guys are they're eager, which is good. So hopefully they won't rout very soon. Lugatorix, get a good charge on that general. Yes, Lugatorix saved the day. He's an absolute genius. Okay. All on the general, apart from Lugatorix. These warband are back. Excellent. Let's pause it. Everyone on these town watch. Apart from Lugatorix, who's done his job. He can get out of there. Go on, out you go, Lugatorix. These guys need to run. Yeah, the warband, I'm used to Roman units. I'm used to units that do as they're told. If I tell them to run, they'll run. If I tell them to guard their position, they guard their position. These guys just tend to do what they want, and they'll rout very, very quickly while they're at it. So everyone through the gate onto these 43 town watch. If a good 300-400 warband can't defeat these guys, and I'm extremely disappointed in them. What's here? 62 Hastati, okay. You guys get on the Hastati. These guys have finally routed. Excellent, okay. Really, really good. I don't know how Vindex is doing. A lot of their units seem to be routing. There are some Roman units that are routed as well. I just want to pause it and see who's died, because I don't even think Vindex is alive anymore. Enemy general has fallen. Good. More generals that have fallen, that's good. Unit rout. Enemy general fallen. Building lost. Enemy... I think Vindex is still alive, which is a miracle. Absolute miracle. Right, we're all through. All of these guys onto these Hastati. Run. All these guys need to run and get onto these Hastati as well. Everyone surround these Hastati very, very quickly. What units along here? Another unit of Hastati. Okay, so everyone needs to get on these 2 units of Hastati very, very quickly. What seems to remain, very, very little. How much of the army is left? Still half of it, so still a good 500 men left. We still have a good 1,000 men left, but they're warband, and they're not doing as they're told. I don't even know what's cavalry and what's not cavalry anymore. Everyone just needs to get on these Hastati. Don't run down the plaza. Get on these guys, they haven't routed yet. There's some units that are just chilling. They don't really feel like fighting, it seems. All run into these guys. Get them. Don't let them retreat onto the plaza. All these guys fight these town watch. We're going to finally get rid of these bastards. Okay. The battle is finally swinging in our favour. I was a little bit worried. I'll be honest, this maybe wasn't the textbook way of getting rid of the Julii in Arretium. This army's completely collapsed. My goodness. Okay. This has been a very bloody fight, but if it means taking out the Julii, then it's a good thing. Hastati, 62 of them. Surely all of these guys can take out 1 unit of Hastati if they come towards us. So, all come along here. All fight the Hastati at the same time. Not the cavalry. You know what? Get the cavalry out of here. They've been more of a liability than anything today. Get these cavalry out. There's still units just chilling outside. There might be cavalry in all fairness. These guys are running the wrong way. Whereas the cavalry, which I said to retreat, are fighting the Hastati. This is very interesting. And annoying. Okay, everyone is very slowly ambling towards the plaza to deal with these Hastati. The Hastati are not retreating, instead they're running through. These 2 units are running through each other. Not the most efficient way probably, but okay. All these, I mean this must be a good like 400, probably more warband. If they cannot defeat these guys, I'm extremely disappointed. All on the Hastati, quickly. All on them, maybe some of them can try and get around the side. I don't know. Let's just grind them down. I'm going to speed it up a little bit because it might take a little while. 2 units have routed. Oh my goodness. I don't know what to say. All these units have routed just because of 1 unit of Hastati. Let's get Lugatorix in here. He might have to do the dirty work again. I mean, I don't care if they're warband. That was a good 400 men. 400 men or so died to 62 men, I think they were in that Hastati unit. 62 men. Lugatorix around here. What's these guys? Triarii, and we don't want to get them involved. Hopefully some of these guys will recover, but this is extremely disappointing. We may actually lose this because the warband couldn't get involved. Lugatorix needs to get out of these Triarii. They're spearmen. Cavalry are not meant to be charging in spearmen. The battle will swing in our favour. I do feel like we have lost this because the warband are incompetent. We need to stop recruiting them. We've been recruiting them a lot in the game. We need to stop. Lugatorix needs to get out of there as well. Hopefully that is not Lugatorix at the back. Okay. The Triarii are chasing. Run, Lugatorix. You know what? I think we've lost this. It's a close battle. We've taken out a lot of their men. And we do have reinforcements in various places. But this is extremely disappointing. Maybe we should have let them sally forth. This was the concern I had, was that in the streets we couldn't flank them. A lot of the warband have recovered. I could just get them to charge back in there, but what are they going to do? Like, Lugatorix charge, go on. Let's see if we can just get a quick charge on them. I don't know. This is risky. I don't want to risk my young general too much. Look at these guys. All of them are routing as well. Hastati, are they going down? 50, yeah, they're going down very, very quickly. That was a good decision. Lugatorix might actually have to save the day. The Triarii are crawling around here. We don't want to get them involved at all. As soon as the Triarii get close, Lugatorix is out of here. These Hastati are done. Look at this. 27 men were in Lugatorix's unit, and they have absolutely destroyed the Hastati. 400 warband could not do the same. Phenomenal, really phenomenal. Okay, Lugatorix, get out of there. Who have we got left? These guys. Triarii spearmen. Right, get inside the city, god damn it, come on. Not Lugatorix, not Lugatorix. Okay. Now it's saying the battle is slightly in our favour. Interesting. The Triarii are probably the main threat at this point. I think we've got rid of most of the generals. It's just this Triarii. The spearmen are quite good. Come on, all these guys on. And then maybe if Lugatorix can run around the edge. That's it, you go around as well. I didn't ask you to do that, but actually for once you're doing the right thing. Try and flank these guys. Just hold out. These warbands need to hold out for a second. Lugatorix, run quickly. Into the spearmen. Okay, they haven't routed yet. The spearmen are down to... Spearmen are rapidly decreasing. And look at that. One unit breaks, they all break. Including these stupid cavalry, which didn't even ask to go around here originally. Can a charge from Lugatorix save the day? Possibly. Come on, everyone, into this fight. Lugatorix, where is he? Get out there quickly. I can't believe this. One unit of Astarte and one unit of Spearmen have possibly destroyed our hopes of taking Arretium this turn. Not Lugatorix. Come on, mate. You're better than this. Do as I say. I know he's eager for a fight, but you're better than this. The amount of men we've lost is phenomenal. It really is. There's so many notifications. So much stuff has gone on in this fight. It's been an interesting fight. It's not been a good one for us, I would say. We've lost a lot of men. Even if they're poor warband troops, that doesn't really matter if we throw them away. Come on. One last stand. Lugatorix. If these guys just hold them for a second, Lugatorix can get a charge in. There's 28 men there. And there's still a good 200. And they've routed before they've even touched the spearmen. These guys prepared their spears. I very much feel that this is nearly the end of us. The amount of units that are routed, even if we do take the city, we're going to have like no one to defend it against the Senate if they come over. Get out of here, Lugatorix. I can't believe one unit of Triarii are screwing me over this much. And I suppose this is a disadvantage to barbarian factions, is that their troops are poor. Come on, all this warband, get in. Lugatorix, get out, run, if you don't mind. If Lugatorix dies because he hasn't run, I'll be very annoyed. Right, I don't know who you are, but you're going to get in there. Lugatorix, run around here, run around here. I know he's done a lot of running today, he's probably very, very tired. Yes, he's tired. Look how many units have routed. We're not down to a lot of units at all. I'm determined to get these spearmen. If anything, these guys are going to rout very, very quickly. We need Lugatorix to get around the other side and take on these spearmen. Go on, no, not that side. Damn it. Oh my goodness. Run. This has been very frustrating. Okay, run round here. I do like Lugatorix, but he's not doing as he's told today, and that's very frustrating. Triarii, get round here. Get round to the Triarii. Can we finally take these guys down? There's 15 of them. I am not backing down. Finally. Okay, finally. They've gone. Let's get rid of all these notifications. A lot of them. A lot of units have routed today. A lot of men have not done themselves justice for Gaul. Okay, let's pause it quickly. The game still thinks it's even, or does it think it's even? Yeah, it thinks it's even. We've got a lot of troops that are routing. We essentially have 2 units of warband, a massively depleted unit of warband, and Lugatorix. The Romans, on the other hand, I don't know what they have. I can't even get into the city and have a look. Lugatorix, get in the city so I can have a look and see what they've got. Okay, it's been a very interesting fight, and I've learnt a lot from it. One main thing is not to rely on warband, even if they are numerous, because they're bad units. They're not good. I'm not very impressed at all. I think there's too much. There's too many Julii that still remain. We have proportionally got more of their men killed as a percentage of the total amount they had than they have to us, but we still lost way more men. I'm under no illusion that this is a defeat. There's some units coming over here. Hastati, and yeah, another unit of Hastati. What's all this? Hastati, some few remnants of a general. That's not much of a force. Right, you guys. I'm gonna go for it. If we lose, you know what? That happens. Run around here, lads. Lugatorics get a charge in. Good tip. If you rally the troops up with here, the general goes to the back. There's Lugatorics, so he's now in less danger. Although I'd like him to run. Run, Lugatorics. He's been a bit lazy today. Oh my goodness. Get out there, Lugatorics. That was a weird charge. Not very happy with that at all. Okay, okay, they've routed. Excellent. Let's go. They've routed as well. Come on, get them before they can get to the plaza. This is good. Okay, finally something's gone in our favour. Everyone on these Hastati. They're vulnerable now because their friends have routed. All on these Hastati. Run, guys. Come on. Charge at them. It's got to be men sometimes. Come on. These guys have routed. Okay, it is finally going in our favour. This has been a real back and forth affair. We have lost a huge amount of men. We've sacrificed a lot to take this city. I mean, this is all we have left. And 73 warband. Get here. Come on. Where are they? They're just outside. I think these guys aren't responding at all. Because they've not done their job once. They were told to bring the rams to the door and they didn't do that. And now they're not running when I asked them to. I really don't like warband. I hope these swordsmen are a lot more responsive. I remember in the first episode the warband were great. They held out well against the British, but against civilised Roman factions they cannot hold up against the Hastati. And I did know this from the very beginning. This is why I wanted to get rid of the Julii as soon as possible, because we simply can't be fighting against all these Hastati with these terrible units. I don't know who these guys are, but they're all dead now. Which is, I don't really care, to be honest. They deserve to die after their cowardice. Right, this is what we've got left. And we're going to charge towards the plaza. This is what we've got to do at this stage. What have they got left? There's still a unit of something in there. The battle's very, very slightly in our favour. All charge. What's this? They're routing before they even touched us. And that is because they're cowards. Run forward. Speed us up a little bit. Charge towards the plaza. Okay. I want to assess what they've got on the plaza. We're both down to basically nothing. The Julii have 61 Hastati and one Roman general is nothing. So 61 of them left. We still have an odd 200 people. But they're Hastati, and we know how much one unit of Hastati can screw us over. Everyone charge. Where's the general? The general needs to hold back. The general can go down this street and he can flank. Come on, Lugatorics, around here. Oh, and there is still 13 Hastati along here as well. So it's basically like one full unit of Hastati, and then one horse just randomly along here. So all these guys onto these Hastati. This is not going to work. Quite simply, this one general wants to have a death or glory charge, and he's going to get death. Or no, he's just an idiot. I think he's gone mad. Okay. You guys, wait for these guys to come over, because we all need to charge as one. What are these guys doing? Get out! Oh my goodness. Guys, don't charge. I want all 3 units of warbands to be together, and they've routed. Okay, they're idiots. Absolute idiots. All I wanted was all 3 units to charge at once, and one unit decided to go ahead. Extraordinary. Okay. This battle's gone on forever. We've killed 92% of them. In a battle that's outside of a city, you can kill 90% of them and get the city. So we've done enough, but we can't quite get the city because there are still enough men in here. And we are down to 4 units. Remember, we had 20 units in this army, and I think Vindex had 8. We've lost 28 units. The AI probably didn't do a very good job, in all fairness. Right, run. Lugatorix around the side. We've risked him massively. This battle. What is he doing? That's not what. Oh my goodness. Lugatorix, get out of here. Oh my goodness. That is not what I asked you guys to do. Run. Run. Lucatorix in here. Everyone on these Hastati. The warband is not doing what I tell them to do. They're really, really bad. Come on. Get around the side. It's almost like too many of them. They're struggling against 6 Hastati there. My goodness. Run. Run, guys. They're not running. Come on. War cry. Let's war cry. Come on. We're nearly there. These guys are doing nothing. Absolutely nothing. These 73 warband are doing nothing. Lucatorix, get in there. You usual rally to get at the back. There's Lucatorix. He's not as in much danger. Run. Come on, we've surrounded them. We're so nearly there. Speed this up slightly. If one unit routs, we're screwed. Lucatorix is down to 11 men. He is very close to dying. I cannot have him die. Run. Charge in. Now run back. We're going to keep getting him to charge. How many of them are left? One cavalry. There's 16 men. And we still have over 100. Surely we have got this. If we lose this at this stage, it'll be the most odd battle I've ever had. Run to the back, Lucatorix. One unit's routed. How many of them are left? It's like 5 men left. This is ridiculous. Get out there, Lucatorix. I think... Who's died? Enemy general. Amulius Julius. Okay. There's one Hastati there. These troops are terrible. Okay. I'm going to breathe a sigh of relief. This is absolute madness. We have won this. But we have lost so many troops. I've never had a more incredible battle than this. They're down to 1 man. 1 man survives. So we deployed 2,800 men. And they got 2,000 kills. They have never gone up against an army so much better than ours in terms of the actual troops themselves. So here we go. This is going to be the end of this episode. We have taken Arretium. We have destroyed the Julii. It's been in the most peculiar of fashions. That battle was incredibly fun. I enjoyed it, but it was also incredibly frustrating as well. Let's just take Arretium for sure. I want to actually take it. There's basically going to be no one guarding it at this point. Vindex, I think... Is Vindex alive? I don't even know. I want to exterminate these people. I'm just not in the mood to keep them people alive. Heroic death. There's 2 heroic deaths. If Lucatorix is one of them, I'm not going to be happy. Vindex died. I didn't even get a notification. And Ryan Nort... Oh my goodness. Okay. We sacrificed 2 generals for that because the AI couldn't keep them alive. I should have kept the generals on my under my control. At least it wasn't Lucatorix. Retinue expand Lucatorix Swordbearer. Don't flaming say. Oh my goodness, he did a great job. He did a really, really good job. We have got some of our troops back because they may have, you know, if they're injured, they have got medical assistance or whatever. Faction destroyed. I've never been more happy to see this page. The Julii are no longer a thing. And although that battle wasn't particularly impressive, it is quite impressive. It's only 264 BC, and the Julii are no longer a thing anymore. So that's really, really good. We've killed the people of Arretium, and we now have Northern Italy. We actually have quite a few settlements now. This is going to be it for this episode. I don't think I can cope with any more. There are still forces up here that we need to deal with. I'm sure there'll be another big, long fight. This is actually a really, really fun episode. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and I will have a slightly different episode tomorrow. I am going to be starting a new series. This series will be continuing, but I've got a shorter series as well of just a couple of different videos giving advice on different factions. There'll be different faction guides. Tomorrow will be the faction guide for Scipii, the House of Scipii. So I hope you enjoy that, and thank you very much, and I'll see you very soon. Goodbye.